Hi guys, so for this video I wanted to start off 2021 by just sharing 7 points that I feel are really important when you're starting your own fashion brand. So number 1 is your grasp of money. As a designer, it really hurts me to say this, but the finances are as important as the product itself. I think that as designers we're geared to focusing on the creative side as much as possible and kind of thinking to hell with how much this thing is going to cost to make and how much it's going to be to sell to the customer. And I think if you want to grow a scalable business, you always need to have in mind how much is the retail price point going to be to the customer and how does that weigh up against what my costs are. So number 2 is understanding who your customer is. And that sounds quite basic, and it definitely is. Countless times I've seen newer brands and established brands, and I've been guilty of this myself. We don't demonstrate that we know who our customer is fully. I think at a very minimum you should be able to write 2 sides at A4 of who your customer is. And I mean talking about their characteristics, where they shop, how often they shop, not even just how much money they make, what kind of diet they have, if they have a pet, are they married, do they have kids, do they live in an apartment, a house. All these things are pivotal to understanding who your customer is. And most of this stuff you should be able to just recite just like that. And once you pretty much know this stuff off by heart about your customer, then the selling side becomes so much easier. Also, when you show that you understand your customer, that comes across in the vision, in the imagery that you're creating to sell to them, because you're trying to develop a relationship and show empathy towards their lifestyle. Number 3 is understand who your competition is. Now again, as designers, those of us that are really creative, we have this mindset that we need to design something that is not going to be on the market or hasn't been on the market yet. But I can probably guarantee you that it already is in some way, shape or form. Just think there are millions of brands in the world, and just because through your research you haven't been able to see anything on the market just through looking at Google, it just doesn't mean that there isn't. You need to be in the mindset that what you design is already on the market, and then there is already a customer base that is going to buy this product. So you really need to dig deep and research brands that are not only selling the same kind of products as you, but think from an idealistic point of view, where would you want to be? So even if it's the likes of Burberry or French Connection or Aquascutum, even though they are years and years ahead of you, that is the aspiration. So they are your competition. So really study and analyze what it is about those brands that are doing well and keeping customers loyal. Also, just to add upon the previous point, when you have the mentality that there isn't a brand on the market that is selling what you're selling, you're almost doing yourself a disservice. It's really important to identify who the direct and indirect consumers are, just so you can make sure you position your brand within the marketplace properly. Number 4, make sure you identify a niche that you're going to go into. It really doesn't make no sense saying that you're going to be a brand that's going to be all things to all men, because I guarantee you're not going to make any sales at all. Identify a small sector of the market that you're going to sell to and push hard towards that sector, and naturally your brand will grow from there. The more specific that you can be, the better it is for the growth of your brand. Number 5, understand what your margins are. Regardless of whether or not you're selling to a retailer or direct consumer, you have to understand what the margin percentage will be. If you're selling to a retailer, then your profit margin will be around about 16 to 20% based on the retail price. Because bear in mind, to get your wholesale price, you double your costs, and then the retailer is going to triple your wholesale price to get the retail price point. So again, your costs are about 16 to 20%. Your wholesale markup is going to be 33%, and then the retailer is going to triple that to get the recommended retail price point. Now, if you are selling directly to the consumer, then it's okay to double your costs to get the retail price point. So basically your profit margin is 50%. So number 6 is don't get distracted. Because there are so many brands on the market, established and starting out, it's easy to look at what these other brands are doing and think, oh, let me change the direction of my brand. But I guarantee you it's far better to be consistent at that one thing that you're doing than keep on going wherever the trends take you. And I think for the long-term benefit of your brand, it's better to do that. Even for the way I do things, even though I'm knowledgeable of what's on the market, I'm ignorant to what other brands are doing, because I just stay in my lane and do what's right for my customer. And every now and again, we'll release a limited edition pieces that serves the creative animal within me. So yeah, just stay in your lane, keep doing what you're doing, and let time be the determining factor as to whether or not your brand succeeds. And I guarantee you that'll be more beneficial. So this is the final one. Understand that when you are starting a fashion brand, you have to spend money that you can afford to lose almost. And this is the same for any kind of investment that you're going into. You don't spend it and, you hope that you're going to make it back. But in most cases, you spend it with the mindset that you're not going to see this back, sometimes never. And then if you're lucky, you'll see it in a few years' time. So your financial planning has to be watertight. Again, understanding those margins and really trying to negotiate at every stage, so that even if you're lucky where you've got an investment, just because you have the money doesn't mean that you need to spend it. I can spend £5,000 and make it look like I spent 50 grand, when other designers can spend £5,000 and make it look like they've only spent a couple of £1,000. So it really is important how you're spending your money and your mentality towards how you're spending your money. So there it is, my 7 key points that I feel are the most important when starting a fashion brand. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope you guys have an amazing year and good luck starting your own fashion brands. And please subscribe to this channel and stay posted for lots of amazing content this year. See you guys.